watching Qtv Nightly News, and I am Jacqueline Coley. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Following a tragic road traffic accident in Kafuta village on January 4th, which claimed 3 lives, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow led a government delegation to Ndemban Clinic on Friday to visit the injured survivors and also extended condolences to the grieving families in Kafuta. Under the team Diaspora Jobs and Financing for Development, GK Partners, in collaboration with the government of the Gambia, hosted the 8th Stake in Nation Forum at the Sadada Kariba Jawara Conference Center. And the Foundation of Civic Rights of Persons with Disabilities commemorated International Braille Day on Saturday to highlight the importance of Braille to the visually challenged. The Young Women's Media and Information Literacy Initiative Your Mail project began training experts on Friday who will develop the first media guide for young women. And in a significant gesture, the Gambia Diaspora Foundation donated food items worth $50,000 to the Tanka Psychiatric Hospital to support the rehabilitation of individuals facing mental health challenges. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. On January 4th, a tragic road traffic accident in Kafuta village resulted in 3 people losing their lives when a truck driver lost control and crashed into a crowd of football fans celebrating a local match victory. On Friday, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow led a government delegation to Ndemban Clinic to visit the injured survivors. He also visited Kafuta village to extend condolences to the grieving families. Our Bao was there and she now reports.
The Vice President was accompanied by the Ministers of Health, Information and Youth and Sports, along with a delegation from the President's office, as they collectively offered their condolences to the affected individuals. The total number of victims is estimated at 68, with 40 reported injuries. All 3 fatalities were females under the age of 18. At Ndemban Clinic, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow extended his deepest sympathy to the families of the injured survivors.
Everybody is sad. Anytime there is an unfortunate incident like this, like an accident, and if there is any casualty, it's a moment of sadness, especially if people lose their lives. So that's why His Excellency President felt that it's important for me to lead a delegation, including some other ministers, Minister of Information, Minister of Youth and Sports, and the Minister of Health, to come and see the victims of the family and their families, and also just to console them for this unfortunate incident.
After visiting Ndemban Clinic, Vice President Jallow and his delegation traveled to Kafuta village to meet families of the deceased. They offered condolences and provided financial assistance of $50,000 to each of the 3 bereaved families, as well as $35,000 to each of the families of the injured. This gesture is intended to support them during this challenging time and to demonstrate the government's commitment to helping those affected by the tragedy. Bakari Y. Baji, Minister of Youth and Sports, and Dr. Ahmadou Lamin Samate, the Minister of Health, both expressed their heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims. They emphasized the government's commitment to offering support during this difficult time.
We feel very sad that some lives were lost, in their prime. It is very devastating for all of us. His Excellency sent his condolences to the families, and his heart is with them, the bereaved families. He's equally devastated, to have heard about this loss. And for all these people in the hospital also, we thank our medical personnel who worked day in and day out to ensure that they get the best of care. There are quite a lot of things that collectively we need to do as a people. The government has a role to play. The people have roles to play, from the drivers to the communities, to the police, all of us. So I think it's important that we all come together as one people to deal with the menace of road traffic accidents.
It's a sorrowful moment for us, but then again, it's a sort of responsibility on the side of the government. His Excellency the President assigned the Vice President together with all of us to come and see the victims of the road traffic accident that happened in Kafuta. So that's why we are here to see some of them that are still around. Some of them has been discharged. Some of them that passed away while they were here, others on the side. So that's the essence. But we've come and we've seen the family. Some of them have recovered, and others are still struggling. But even though everyone is stable.
Nyman Sata Fadera is the mother of one of the diseases.
So manda fano kata wilta konye ko ikoy dingoy accident wala soto para singole katita wo say pour ala sayan terenta wo mali.
When the incident occurred, I was away. Upon returning home, I found people gathered at the house. I asked what had happened, and they told me that my daughter had broken her leg and died in an accident. I was shocked because I had left her in good health, only to return and find her lifeless. I thank Allah for everything and pray that He grants them Jannah.
The tragic event has left the Kafuta community in mourning as families grieve the loss of their loved ones, while others prayed for the swift recovery of the injured. According to the police, the driver has been arrested and is currently in custody. Local organizations and government officials are offering ongoing support to those affected as the community works to heal from these devastating incidents. For Qtv News, I am Bob.
May the souls of the departed rest in peace. And under the theme Diaspora Jobs and Financing for Development, GK Partners, in collaboration with the government of the Gambia, hosted the 8th Stake in Nation Forum at the Karaba Jawara Conference Center in Bijilo. Here is an expert by the Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallo, representing President Barrow.
On 15 December 2024, the Minister of Foreign Affairs issued a statement launching the 2024-25 Gambia Diaspora Month, which culminates in today's annual gathering, the 8th Stake in the Nation Forum, that's SNF 8. Constancy, consistency, and continuity are core features of institution building. Therefore, I thank Professor Jibril Fall and the GK Partners team for bringing us together once again and for funding this national event. This year, SNF is also supported by the European Union and the International Organization for Migration. We express our gratitude and thanks to them. We also reiterate our thanks to the government of Switzerland for co-funding the first 3 phases of the Migration and Sustainable Development in the Gambia project between February 2017 and June 2024. Amongst other things, this enabled the Gambia to become one of the champion countries for the UN Global Compact for safe, orderly, and regular migration. Within this GCM framework, MSDC is recognized globally as an innovative and impactful model of good practice. It stands as an example of how countries can move from mainstreaming to institutionalizing diaspora participation in national development. In May 2024, the World Economic Forum published an article recognizing the Gambia's leadership in this field. We now invite our development partners to support the 4th phase of the MSDG project, which runs for 5 years from July 2024 to June 2029. 2025 is the year that the United Nations convenes the 4th International Conference on Financing and Development, as we had earlier, to be held in Seville, Spain between 30th June and 3rd July of 2025. The outcome document will replace the 2015 Addis Ababa Action Agenda as the global framework on development finance. It is important that the role of the diaspora and innovative finance is prominent in the consultations, proceedings, content, recommendations, and commitment of FFD4. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Gambia is a small country with big migration, as we had earlier. And when Professor Jibril, when you talk about after, I'm always, and I'm sure Mr. Gay, who is also there, can always associate with that. We are acutely aware of the significance of diaspora finance to the welfare of families and communities and the development of the nation.
We will bring a fuller report on the 8th Taking Nation Forum in Monday's news bulletin. But for now, we'll take a short commercial break. When we return, we have more local stories. Do stay tuned.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News and I am Jacqueline Coley. Well, on Saturday, the Foundation of Civic Rights of Persons with Disabilities commemorated International Braille Day to highlight the importance of Braille and the challenges faced by the visually challenged. Pa Daniel Gomez has more on the story.
Braille is a tactical reading and writing system for individuals who are blind or visually impaired. The commemoration of International Braille Day serves as a reminder of the significance of accessibility and inclusion in education and information dissemination. Samba Jaite, president of the Foundation of Civic Rights of Persons with Disabilities, highlights the importance of Braille in the education of the visually impaired.
It's not very encouraging because you look at it, still now visually impaired face a lot of challenge in terms of Braille writing, because I believe there are many areas where there should be Braille. You look at the newspapers, the press, some part of the press, and then if you look at even the structures. When I went to the United States, on their lifters or elevators, hotel rooms, you all have Braille, where a person with visual impairment will just read and know this room A, room B. But in the Gambia, it is definitely absent. Still now, we still face a lot of challenges, despite how it is embraced in the international world. But still in the Gambia, persons with visual impairment have a breach in communication because all these signage are not in Braille. So it is very important to realize that this is something that we all have to bring our hands together to make sure that we stand together, to make sure that the Braille is something that is also part of a medium of communication.
As the visually impaired continue to face numerous challenges in the Gambia, Honorable Ndai Yasin Seka, a former National Assembly member, shares some of these.
Visually impaired, we are facing tremendous challenges, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, is on our side. We enjoy sitting in the darkness, and none of you here is enjoying it. So it's the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We enjoy other things. If you cannot go to somewhere else, you ask me to go there, you take me there for the first time, and then you allow me to use my white cane, I'll be able to go there. So the challenges that we are talking about is brought to us by not nature, but mankind. Because had we were engaged or put into where everybody is in terms of development, in terms of socialization, in terms of education, I don't think we will be left behind.
Aliu Jallo, a visually impaired poet, inspired by his love of rap music and novels, delivered a poem using Braille, which reflects the evolution of the visually impaired.
In a world of light, did his darkness reign? Or among peers would he be treated with disdain? Fumbling with a cane with a beggar's cup in hand, he would know much pain from rejection society breeds. But God, why would the light be denied me so? He would at times wonder in sorrow. Would that he could that beautiful face see from which shines all of his mother's love. But then from the darkness there came the power of dreams and human ingenuity.
This shows the importance in having access to Braille for the visually impaired to be able to not only express themselves, but communicate effectively. At the end of the symposium, recommendations included the training of lecturers to be able to interpret Braille, book authors to consider making copies in Braille, provision of good gadgets tailored for the visually impaired, and the incorporation of Braille in offices. For QTV News, I am Pa Daniel Gomez.
And the first Young Women's Media Guide will be launched through the Young Women's Media and Information Literacy Initiative project. On Friday, YOMIL began training experts who will develop the guide. Jainaba Sonko was there and she now reports.
Women in the media continue to face numerous challenges, including sexual harassment and limited representation in leadership roles. The Young Women's Media and Information Literacy Initiative project aims to empower young women in the Gambia media through information literacy training and the creation of a Young Women's Media Guide to be complemented by an app which will allow users to access the guide digitally. The one-year project is initiated by a former Gambian journalist, Nyima Jadama, who, while working in the Gambia, saw the need to improve the plight of women in the media.
When I went to Germany and joined the media fraternity, personally, I had a lot of questions for myself. That is one, like, what was I doing in Gambia? Like, what is really journalism in Gambia? So then I came up with this idea that we need to empower them, and if I should do something, it will be specifically for women. Because if we empower them, we're not just empowering them to inform the people, but as well motivate other young persons. And this is why the project concept actually catered for the press clubs as well.
Through the Young Women's Media and Information Literacy Initiative project, a Young Women's Media Summit will take place in the Gambia for the first time. Tabusar is a seasoned women's rights activist and part of the experts being trained for the YOMIL project.
Developing the guideline will also ensure that future programs, the needs and the wants of these women are incorporated in those in future programs as well. So in a nutshell, I think it's a very good initiative, and I commend the initiators of coming up with such, but also encourage the women to seize this opportunity because it is part of empowerment, especially in the area of media.
The project will provide media and information literacy training sessions for 280 women in all 7 regions of the Gambia. In addition to sexual harassment, harassment at work and beyond, female journalists face cyberbullying and limited access to leadership and decision-making roles, amongst other obstacles. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jainaba Sonko.
It is often said that our society neglects those dealing with mental health issues. However, in a significant contribution, the Gambia Diaspora Foundation, GDF, presented food items worth $50,000 to the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital to support the rehabilitation of individuals dealing with mental health challenges. Osman Jata tells us more.
Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital, the country's only leading health facility, has been a cornerstone in the rehabilitation of individuals struggling with mental health disorders. This donation is part of the Gambia Diaspora Foundation's 2024 theme titled Standing with the Vulnerable, which focuses on supporting vulnerable individuals, a cause the GDF is passionate about. Waraba is the GDF's vice president.
On the 28th of December last month, 2024, we organized an event that we annually do called End of Semester. The rationale behind that is we want to raise funds and help needy people, especially those that are mentally challenged and other vulnerable groups. And last year's theme was standing with the vulnerable, and we felt people having mental challenge are vulnerable people. Of course, there are people that are important in our society but they are here not by choice, but by God's ordained. So we should not neglect them, and that is why we came here to give them support, and also those people that are taking care of them.
The donated items includes 10 bags of rice, 3 bags of sugar, flour, and other valuable food items. Established to provide specialized care, over the years, Tanka Tanka has become a place of hope for those dealing with mental health issues. Bakari Kamara, the matron of Tanka Tanka, received the items on behalf of the psychiatric hospital.
We are saying a very big welcome and a very big appreciative kind of gesture you have rendered to us here. Tanka Tanka, anyway, it is the only facility we had in the whole country, on the whole entire facilities. And then we have 150 bed capacity. Sometimes we go beyond that. And then looking at the trained staff we have, we are just having 10 trained staff at the moment. And then 1 trained nurse is to 21 patients. So how on earth do you think that can be managed here? So the workload is overloaded. So we are oversaturated, because we all know when somebody is mentally ill, will be in that street, hungry. This is where sometimes you will even see somebody just pass by and then starts going to the dump site and starts speaking whatsoever he or she comes across of, and nothing wrong will harm that person. So these particular individuals are brought in here. So in helping them is this. That's what Gambia Diaspora has did for us. So this is something that we needed most, and this is something that we will appreciate. And we are saying let other philanthropists again emulate what they are doing.
Awaba, the founder and chief executive officer of Shasha Management Services, is among the key partners of the Gambia Diaspora Foundation.
As a good citizen, munga gis lo xamne wax diga yalla yow munga contribute ci sa deka.
As a citizen, you should contribute to the growth of your country in several aspects. That is why I decided to support the Gambia Diaspora Foundation from the inception, and I will continue to support them. Anyone can be admitted to Tanka Tanka because it is destined by God. I urge all Gambians to support Tanka Tanka by emulating the Gambia Diaspora Foundation.
The Gambia Diaspora Foundation's donation to Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital demonstrates the power of collective effort to complement the efforts of the government. It is also yet another example of diaspora Gambians contributing to their homeland. The foundation hopes to inspire others to emulate the gesture, ensuring that vulnerable individuals continue to receive the right support and resources to survive peacefully. Osman Jata reporting for Qtv News.
That story from Usman Jata brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin. But before we go, here's a recap of the main headlines. Following a tragic road traffic accident in Kafuta village on January 4th, which claimed 3 lives, Vice President Mohamed B.S. Jallow led a government delegation to Demban Clinic on Friday to visit the injured survivors and also extended condolences to the grieving families in Kafuta. Under the team Diaspora Jobs and Financing for Development, GK Partners, in collaboration with the government of the Gambia, hosted the 8th Stake in Nation Forum at the Sadada Karaba Jawara Conference Center. The Foundation of Civic Rights of Persons with Disabilities commemorated International Braille Day on Saturday to highlight the importance of Braille to the visually challenged. The Young Women's Media and Information Literacy Initiative project began training experts on Friday who will develop the first media guide for young women. In a significant gesture, the Gambia Diaspora Foundation donated food items worth $50,000 to the Tanka Tanka Psychiatric Hospital to support the rehabilitation of individuals facing mental health challenges. That's all for today's bulletin. Do join us tomorrow. Thanks for watching and bye for now.